20 seconds early, still early. So, anyways, what we're going to be having tonight with dinner, and by the way, happy Friday, everybody. We're going to have some creamy garlic noodles, and I'm going to throw a can of chicken in on it. And yeah, it's cool. So I got two things of chicken from the food bank, which is kind of nice because usually they give you I usually get like 2 pounds of hamburger instead, but this is pretty nice. Anyways, hi everybody. Hope you're doing well. I'm Friar Tuck, and we're just gonna have, instead of doing AI news and homesteading news, which are pretty much one and the same, because if you're a digital homesteader, AI is going to be a big part of what you're doing anyway. So there's no point in all the other stuff. What's up, Occult? Nice to see you, buddy. So, but anyways, let me get this started so that I can kind of turn my attention, because this has got to boil for a while. Where is my measuring cup? Okay, so I gotta do 1 cup of milk. All right, hold on. Yeah, I already got everything kind of pre-made. I was just waiting to go live. There we go. And then the rest is for me, I guess. Okay. We've got that on. That can come off. Let's use. Hold on, guys. Just getting. I thought I was organized, but apparently I'm not as organized as I thought I was. Okay, so I got that. Put the noodles in. Oh, I got to put some oil in place of the margarine. So let's see here. Oh yeah. Okay. So we got that going. So how's you guys' week been? Live from the desert, and it's time for Tuck. Yes, and we're west of the Rockies. For those of you that are east of the Rockies, you should definitely, you should definitely be worried, because let me see if I can turn it around and show you guys. It's snowing right now. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a lot of snowflakes. It's not really thick. Oh, and since I got the camera turned around, check this out. So this is the Olight strip, and now that I got it hooked up, it's doing, I forget what setting I've got it on. Something to do with cold, because it's cold. So, hey, what's up, Cherokee? Nice to see you. Okay, so let's turn this back around. Make sure it's close over here. Okay, I'm finding the perfect spot in this trailer to be able to do what I need to do. So, but what's up, Cherokee? Nice to see you, buddy. You still in Canada, or are you on your way down here, or has the border issues with Trump and everything caused a lot of issues for you to get in? I'm curious, because I know you were planning on coming down. I was kind of hoping to see you sometime this last year, but I know you ran into some issues. So I'm kind of curious. How you doing? That's no call. Always wish you the best. Good to see you, Tech. I'm trying the house thing for a while. Well, congratulations. The just remember, if you've done this before, then you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about. If you've never done this before, there's gonna be a lot, because basically you've been go outside all day long. Now all of a sudden you get four walls. You go from chaos to stability, and then all of a sudden you take a deep breath, and your whole body, your mind, everything just kind of like, you just become a drooling idiot. Depends upon how long you've been out there, but um, it is very, very hard. And even 3-4 months later, I'm still having to kick myself in the butt to keep myself going every day, because just when you get to that point where everything, yeah. Anyways, I hope you understand. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. But if not, you will understand what I'm talking about. I'm trying to. It's not because of gaining entry. Oh, okay. Well, um, I hope I hope you get to come here, because I know that was something that was big for you. Was that that's what you wanted to do? So, I hope it works out for you, Cherokee. But anyways, so I wanted to tell you guys. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, I want to tell you guys about some changes that I am making. Yeah, no worries, occult man. Anything I can do to help you guys out. I mean, I've gone the homeless route, I've gone the housed route, I've gone this route, and I've gone that route. I've done a lot of different things. There's not very much I haven't done. As far as the homeless or the transition out of homeless. I mean, I figured all kinds of different ways to make money weirdly. Which is I've got a video coming out. It'll be next week that the video is coming out, and uh, um, let's see. Yeah. Anyways, the the it's gonna be really really good. That's all I can say. I can't really. I just got done doing the outline in the script today. It took a long while because I was going very deep. I'm learning how to use AI as a way to be able to um, really add some quality to what it is that I'm doing. So, yeah. So versus east. Which side of the Rocky Mountains are you? Oh, I'm west. I'm on the west side of the. I'm about maybe two. No, I'm probably about 6-8 hours from California border. Samantha, go lay down. Go lay down. What did I tell you? Go lay down. If you don't, I'm gonna stick you outside. That's your choice. Over here and lay down. Yeah, knock it off. This is not the time. Her and I've been fighting all day. Every time, like she's probably taken about 2 hours of my time, just constantly, having to fight her to get off me because she's like, yeah. I'll share some pictures over on Patreon to some of you Patreon members. Look, little girl, you're worse than a cat. So, I'm trying to learn AI for editing too. You know what? Here's my best suggestion to you, Warnosher. I tell you no, and you go do it anyways. Lay down now. Knock it off. So, here's my suggestion to you for hold on. What the hell are you doing? Go lay down and knock it off. Dog, I'm about to put you outside and you're going to stay outside all night. She's chewing on my cigarettes. But anyway, sorry about this, guys. Normally Sam's not this disruptive, but now she's not getting the attention she wants. She's figuring out other ways to do it, and it's getting to a point where it needs to stop, dog, or you're going to live the rest of your life outside. So, but anyways, Tuck, the last video about making money with a cell phone looks good. Will the greenlit background? Okay, you like the yeah, no, not good. The green background, yes. So I'm figuring out ways to use the green, because now that I can kind of like adjust it on an RGB scale, like a color wheel, I can get the green enough where it's light enough to where it lights up my face. And I think I can even get that with the blue. So now that I'm not stuck just on hitting the button, I've got it in my phone. Now it'll be a little bit different. But okay, so as far as answering your AI question, with AI, I would not let AI do your editing for you. Now, the video that I did, the one that you're talking about, Beth, that's coming out next week, that video, I used AI to do it's called, on CapCut, it's called AI packaging. You get one free use. I figured I'd try it out. So it does the captions, it does the pop-ups and the sound design and all that other stuff. It's very entry level. Now, give it a year or so and it'll probably be a lot better, but you're going to be paying $20 to $50 a month for this stuff. ChatGPT, if you want to use it to do something in depth or anything really detailed, either you got to space it out over a long period of time, or you've got to you've got to pay the $20 to $25 a month for the membership just so that you can do that. Okay, so with that being said, what I do is as I'm doing my outline, so this is how I created the video that I'm working on today. What's up, Bucknut? What's up, Maggie? Cool, Maggie. Nice to see you. Okay. Okay, so here's how I did the video that I'm working on today, because this is going to be my overall thing. This is why I'm making some changes that I'm going to be talking about making. But here's how I'm using AI to do my content creation. Okay, and you can use this, and you can take it, you can use it, because you can apply it to whatever it is that you're doing if you're in the digital realm. Okay, so for example, what I do is I go and I figure out a title, and I found I went and I started surfing within my niche to find certain videos and stuff like that that were outliers. So I found a guy that had like 86,000 subscribers, which he probably got 50,000 from this video, and he got 1.5 million views. And I went and I watched the video and I saw why he was doing it. And what I'm doing is going to be something very similar to that, because I took my experience and my knowledge of different ways that you could make money, and I kind of cross-pollinated it, because the thing is what even the gurus tell you is you want to put your own spin on it. You want to push it in a different way. So it's going to be more like a what's that book series? It's called Dummy's Guide to whatever. So this is going to be a dummy's guide to making money online. And if you're over 60 years old and you're really like intimidated, I'm bringing it to the point where it makes it so simple that you can follow step by step as you're doing it. And so not only do I get that one video, but because it's so big, it's got so much information in it, I can actually cut that up into 7 videos, because it's 7 sections. It's 7 ways to be able to make money online easily, without any real issue. So what I did is, once I figured out the once I figured out what it was that I wanted to talk about, and it resonated with me, then I went to Chat GPT and I'm like, okay, this is the video that I'm looking at. And then I had it give me some different titles, and I said, hey, look, I got a rebel mentality, I want this to work. What's up, Rails? Nice to see you, buddy. So by the way, you've got 3 tickets, Rails, to this, just so you know. Or excuse me, 4 tickets. 4 tickets. Because of yeah. Anyways, so back on topic. So I end up doing it this way. And so therefore it gave me like a list of 7 different titles that I could use. And I liked one that was very gritty and rebel like, and I was like, okay, that fits, and that's definitely going to be something interesting enough, because what I'm looking at is which one of these am I most likely to click on. And so instead of having to go do hours and hours of research, ChatGPT is putting these things in front of me. And so what I do from there is I'm like, okay, now I understand. Here's my title. Now what I do is I go in and I start on the hook, and I say, hey, I want a hook. This is the type of audience I want to attract. This is what I want to do. And what I'm going to do is eventually, especially if you're a member over on Patreon, is I'm going to give you some prompts for that I'm using, so that you can use them for yourself. Yes, 4 tickets to the shit show. But oh crap. Okay, we got this going here. Oops, I need to put the chicken in, and I need to put some oil in. Actually, I don't need oil. But then I go in and I go section by section. I have it give me details. I give it specific instructions that I wanted it to do, to simplify it, to make it easier, so that I could have something that was very cohesive. Because how you do your outline is going to determine how how the rest of it turns out. And so it's very important that you have that you put a lot of time and effort. And it probably, if I hadn't have been held up by the free restrictions within ChatGPT, it probably would have taken me about an hour to an hour and a half to do that process, just to get it up to writing a script. And then I have it write a script and then give me thumbnail ideas. Now this is, and when I have it write a script, I also have it give me cues. Like what, so I'm not very good at doing visual cues and visual stuff. I'm more about wanting to teach people. So the content itself is good, but I need to, as far as the knowledge, but I need to make it more engaging for people to keep them interested longer. Because it's I'm putting the information off wrong or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure on what it is I'm doing right or wrong. I'm still kind of figuring that out as I go along, but this is my tool to kind of help me do that. So I have it give me cues for sound design, where to put things in, when to put them in, stuff like that. And sometimes I'll even ask it to give me prompts as I go into some of these AI tools to be able to do like AI image generation, which I honestly don't like doing that. I prefer going getting real B-roll. And there's plenty of free sites to go get that. Let's see how this macaroni is. It's almost done. Okay, but if you, this is how I do my this is how I do my creation. So okay, yeah, I'm getting distracted by chat. That's true. Okay, so did you have to buy a new laptop to edit with AI for RAM? Warnosher, no, I'm using a $55 Chromebook, a Dell Chromebook, and it's all web based. So I do web based, and my biggest issues is that I got a 100 gig hotspot, so I got to be limited on how I use it because I've got to download a lot of data, a lot of other stuff along the way. So you don't have to have anything high end because most of it is browser based. Now, if you want to have it local, I would recommend getting a Linux gaming machine because it'll be a lot easier on you. I mean, you may have to have a learning curve outside of Windows, but not only is it more secure, but it's not resource intensive, so that you can put it on something that so that you can use whatever, you know. So I'm trying to do like 10 things at once. Bucknut, you saw the green one about the money. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. Had a busy day. It's warming up, so evenings are going to be spent outside here. Oh, Bucknut, I'd wait a week. I really would. Because like I said, it's snowing here. And yeah, it's like freezing cold. And then on Tuesday, it's going to be 75. And on Tuesday of this last week, it was 65 was the last decent day we had. And then it's been in the like mid to low 40s the rest of the time. So that's kind of what you got coming your way. Um, if everything takes off. So I'm gonna let this cool down, settle in a little bit, cream up, because I know Sam's gonna want her cut already, because that's why she's getting all impatient. That came together nicely. Nor very trusted. Okay, so I'm having I'm having creamy garlic, Nor dollar store food. But on Monday, so on Tuesday, I got to go pick up stuff. Okay, so I said that there's going to be some changes happening. Tuck has a rock garden in the works. Not until I get some consistent weather, because it's like a week on, week off. So as soon as it thaws out, then I got to go do laundry, take a shower, get stuff done around here. Too cold to go outside, and then all of a sudden it gets cold again, and so I'm stuck back inside again. So I have to under covers with my phone and my laptop. So Dell Chromebook. Yes, and honestly, I mean, I bought it refurbished off of eBay for like $55. And it was certified. You know, you should look at something like that. Wait a week for your weather, because it's gonna if this slingshots up north, or collides with what's going on. Yeah, you guys, somebody's gonna get some really nasty weather over the next in the next week or two. That's really with the way that this weather is, the way it's been so erratic, like hot, cold, like there's a 40-degree swing, almost 30 to 40-degree swing week to week. 30 degrees hotter and 30 degrees colder, 30 degrees hotter. Like today is 18 degrees below normal, for this area. So I would definitely be cautious and watch the weather, especially what's hitting me, because Yeah, we're getting tons. Like we're getting more snow. We've gotten hail and ice for like 3 days now. Mm. Tether with charging cable to laptop. Use USB port. It uses so much less media. I have an iPhone, and that's the problem. Um, so the thing that I like about what AI is doing is you're gonna have the choice between the Chat GPT ecosystem or the Grok ecosystem, which is Elon Musk. And Grok will be like having an iPhone, and ChatGPT will be like having an Android, and we'll have the cultural divide that way. Which AI do you use? You know, that's our rally cry. I think that being in the Tesla ecosystem is a good idea, but um, the problem is Apple is having trouble with its AI. After I'm done with this live stream, I've got it's like an hour and a half lecture about why Apple can't get AI to work. So AI or Apple may be done for, and Tesla is releasing a phone this year. Sometime by the end of this year, they are releasing a phone which will be connected to all their satellites. They also have a tablet, so the phone's going to be like 329, and the tablet's going to be like 129. And there's limited access to it, so he's not just like, oh yeah, let's sell as many as we can. No, they're putting like 10,000 units out first to see who wants them. People are already getting pre-ordered for them and stuff like that. But you don't even have to have extra software or anything else like that. It comes with Grok installed on it because it's a Tesla product. And so therefore you start getting into their ecosystem because now you're using their satellites for internet, you're using their phone, and it's supposed to be comparative to a Galaxy or an iPhone. And so I mean this is crazy. I think the days of Apple are numbered. I think Apple is going to be one of the first major casualties of this AI race. So I like Bing's Copilot. It's free. Um, there are. Have you tried DaVinci? Why not Bucknut? Let that shit grow like Tuck's beard. Oh, if it's warm going. Oh wait, hold on, I missed it. Mobile data saved by tethering. Um, no, not really. Um, okay. I might have to look into that. Okay. If it's warm, I'm going out to do yard stuff. I can't wait until it's warm all the time. It's time to cut the grass, trim bushes, and tree shit. Yeah, I fully agree with you. Like, I mean, it's been like I said, snow and ice. That's kind of stay inside weather. It's been snow and ice since Tuesday. So or no Wednesday, and this is what Saturday. And the last time I was able to work outside was Tuesday. Mm. So let me turn this down. Yeah, I'm using up a lot of propane to keep myself warm during this crap. Hopefully, this tomorrow is supposed to be the last day of this, though. Uh, oh, you got a Hoa? Okay, now that makes sense. Samsungs are much better. I've used them both. It just depends. It's like when I was in the IT field. If you grew up in a Microsoft environment, you go over to an Apple environment. It's like all of a sudden it becomes simplified. It's so complicated. They're just some people just kind of have once you learn something, that's kind of the way it is. So, um, mm. Ice in the AM and 70s in the afternoons is abnormal up here. Okay. Well, it'd be nice if we had that. That's what we had in like November, um, November, December. But as soon as January hit, man, it's just like the end of December, beginning of January, we've been hit with like 4 or 5 snowstorms, which is not normal. But I heard that last year wasn't as wet, so this is making up for last year. So I thought we were getting more than usual, which we are. It's making up for less the year before because there's a lot of people around here that grow their gardens and stuff. So all right, let's get Sam fed. Mm. Where is there's her bowl. Okay. And let's get me a bowl too. Yes, Sam, you're about to get fed. All right. Get a doggy some. Hopefully it's cooled down enough. I'll try not to give her too hot of food. And that should be enough. All right, baby girl. Assume the position. This is a time where everybody gets to see you and get to watch you eat. You hungry? Are you hungry? Yeah, you're hungry, huh? Yeah, I can see you licking your chops. This is still warm, so be careful. Not sit. Wait. Wait. You better wait. Oh, you better wait. You see her drooling. She's waiting. So you can't see her, but she's actually shaking right now. Go for it. All right, now I get to eat a little bit. Well, you guys watch the dog eat, and then she gets to sit here and beg for the rest of my food. Yeah. What's up, Rooster? You got California storm, warm weather coming up your way. Yeah. But yeah, that won't be here until Sunday's the first day. There's no clouds, which actually allows the sun to warm us up. And we're not going to have any clouds for like 8 days. No clouds means no clouds means no whatchamacallit, no wind. Oh wow, there's some big snowflakes coming down now. Wow. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, because it's starting to stick. You guys see that? Can you guys? Let's see if we can zoom in on it. That is snow. Okay, so back to regularly scheduled programming, because this is who you came to see. All right, Sam, you're done. Sit. Sit. What are you supposed to be doing? Samantha Marie, sit. Yes, I know. You can. No, you calm down. All right, everybody wants to say hi to you. You got your fans. Okay, so while I'm doing this here, there is some changes coming to the live streams. So if you are part of my regular live stream crew that stays and does my live streams with me, make sure that you are subscribed over on my other channel, because on Monday night, it's like 7 my time, no, 6 my time, 9 Eastern. Okay. I do a podcast. It's called Mental Wealth. We talk about dealing with all the stressors and stuff like that with the job market for AI, plus other things along that lines. We kind of focus on the mental health aspect. And then on Wednesdays, I have my other podcast over here where we talk about digital homesteading. And I give you actionable content where we get to have back and forth interactions. Okay. But that's members only chat. So you got to be a member. It's $2.99 to be a member of the Podcast Lovers podcast. And on Friday, I want to do AI news. And then Saturdays is when I'm planning on going into town. So that way I got once a week to go into town and I do a walk and talk with you guys. So right now, as it stands, I'm doing 6 days a week with live streams. I want to be able to put more time into producing a better quality content as I kind of maneuver myself, because you guys understand, those of you guys that have been here for a while, listen to me talk. So instead of doing 6 live streams over 2 channels a week, I'm going to be doing 4. So I'm going to do the Monday night over on Your Personality HQ. Um, yeah, I'm very busy, Beth. Um, come on over to that one, which is the Your Personality HQ Monday night, 9 Eastern, and then on Wednesday night, it will be probably 9 Eastern as well. I'll probably start it between 5 and 6. That will be my digital homesteading. So Mondays and Wednesdays are homesteading. Friday and Saturday is when we kind of have the open. So I'll do the homesteading news, and then I will do and then from there I'll do Saturday will be a walk and talk where it's completely open. You guys can ask me whatever questions you want, whatever you want, right? So what do you guys think of that? Type 1 if you think that's a good idea, or 2 if you think I should keep it 6 nights a week. Mm. But yeah, I am getting pretty busy. Mm. This is good to have. All right, Sam, you ready for round 2? Mm. Wait. Mm-mm. I told you to wait. Go for it. Doggy dishes, everyone. Okay, so let me go back and see what I've missed because I was too busy stuffing my face. Mm. Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. Sammy, so adorable. Okay. Good dog. Okay. I cannot believe the snow is sticking. I did see it with my own eyes. Yeah, it's sticking, but it won't be around like by 10 or 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. It won't be around. Um, I saw orange sized snowflakes in Oregon. I haven't seen them that big. I mean, I lived up in Lapine and like, Bend, Burns, Terrebonne, Seneca, all over that place. Kicking butt, how busy? Well, it's not that but the thing is my busyness is actually producing results. Because normally, Beth, what happens is I just get busy and I'm really not. I'm YouTube kind of gave me a wake up call when I was looking at my stats. It says that I'm getting like a 5% click through rate. That's a combination between title and thumbnail. Okay, that's great on that. So my 2 things to focus on are impressions, which impressions is the scope of audience for the topic, such as a dummy's guide to making money online. That's gonna probably a lot of people probably listen to that just because they want to know the simplicity of it, even if they have no plans on getting into it, maybe having it as a backup plan. So therefore, it's going to get a lot more impressions than if I did some other title. But the thumbnail is not stop. Excuse me, is not stopping them. Most people look at the thumbnail then the title. So I'm only stopping 5% of the total possible viewers. Instead of I need to get it up to about 7 to 10%. At that point in time, I know that I'll be good. I'll be happy with 7 to 10% because that will triple my views. And if I focus on retention, which getting that up to 50% right now, I hover between 27 and 33%. I need to get that up to something around what is it? I need to get that up to something around 45 to 55%. The video I released yesterday has a 43%, so I'm doing pretty good comparatively speaking, and the watch time keeps going up. The video I released today is sitting around a 47, 48% view duration, which is pretty good. So I'm experimenting with doing longer form videos and shorter form videos, but I don't think it really matters with long or short because it really has to do with there's certain choke points along the way. So okay, so walk and talk for sure. Okay, whatever works best for you. Okay, I changed something. You're not getting nearly the traffic on live streams that you used to. Yes, and I noticed that when I don't do a live stream on like Saturday, like you guys go like a couple of days, all of a sudden I'll see chat get up to like 30, 40 people. So I think if I put it in more of a thing where people had to do it, but then that would mean, here's the thing, I keep doing the vertical for two main reasons, and I don't know if I should go stay vertical or if I should go horizontal, and I'll let you guys give me your thoughts on this. So there's two reasons why I go vertical. One, I need my cell phone pointing straight up so that I can get the best cell phone signal. Okay. Um, and number two is like being on trail doing mobile live streams. When they first started out, you couldn't, you were stuck doing the vertical. You didn't get the horizontal. They only recently in the last like 9 months opened it up to where, maybe year now, where they opened it up to where you can actually do horizontal or mobile. Okay. But the thing is, I think if I'm going to build I know that I want to do my podcasts horizontally. But what do you think about my live streams on Friday and Saturday? Should I do them horizontally or should I do them vertically? Yes, but just like with a product, you have a total addressable market, Beth. With a title, you have a total addressable market. So, and you got to figure out who your target market is because certain buzzwords work. So, for example, Bucknuts, 3 easy ways to be self-sufficient with your cell phone. Something like that. The self-sufficiency is a prepper word. Is going to bring in preppers. It'll actually probably bring in a lot of people that aren't really into that type of thing. But um, I'd say okay. But um, how about doing one live stream a day? Make people miss you. But I only do one live stream a day, Bucknut or Rambos. I'm doing 6 a week. I'm doing one every night, Monday through Saturday. I thought that was Bucknut for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Samantha, go lay down. Come on, get up here. Go lay down. All right. Enjoy it. We're in until the snow goes away or until it stops. Okay. So, thumbnail and title. Okay. Yes. Okay. Impressions equal audience. Ditto. You're the creator. I changed something. You're not getting. Yeah. That's kind of why I'm making the changes. But part of the reason why I'm not getting the traffic I used to, Bucknut, is because I've switched. If you notice, at least I notice in the back end because I get to see it. When I started talking about homelessness and the digital economy, all of a sudden my channel kind of revived itself. Because I was bringing back the people that came here to talk about homelessness. And so that was part of the whole bridge that I was doing to bring people from okay, you follow my homeless content, now follow my next chapter. That way I don't have as big of an attrition. I'm gaining about 300 subscribers a month and I'm losing about 150 to 200 a month. Because of since I've started doing this transition, I have noticed that like I eke up, and if you've noticed, I've barely been eking up. I'm barely gaining maybe 110, 120 a month, but that really doesn't matter. Subscribers are more of a vanity metrics, because if they come here for an idea, and if you don't keep giving them that same type of content, YouTube's not going to keep serving them up that content. So therefore, that subscription may have been kind of a wasted subscription because it's a dead subscriber. Okay, in the sense that it's no longer, they're no longer coming back. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get it to a point where I have at least 20% of my audience, like my total subscriber base. So that would be 1,600 right now, 16, 1,700, 1,800 right now. If that to be returning users per video. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at. And I'm getting probably about 5 to 700 when I hit a topic that resonates with the majority of my audience. And another thing is I'm starting to push more on my memberships as well. Horizontal is TV friendly and more professional, but this live doesn't show the sides, which is good. Yes. Okay. Horizontal will get more views, view time. more view time from me because I go back to the beginning and catch up with vertical. I miss everything before I join. See, and that's why I started doing it. But I started hearing people say, "Oh, well, you only have, you only have, you only have." But see, I have to find something and I have to stick with it. Okay, and so this is why I'm polling you, the audience, because at the end of the day, without your eyes on my video, I don't make anything. So I'm trying to make this to where I get more of your eyes on my video. So that's why, even if you're watching this post, put it down in the comments. Let me know. Tell me what you think. Walking to town, you don't need to keep the phone vertical. Um, actually, the way that I do it, because I have to use a third party app, that has to be vertical. That one has to be vertical. So we'll do Saturdays as vertical and the others the other way, and then that way we can bring the other audience over. Um, I don't know. Because just like the walk and talk and stuff like that, I have to do it vertical. I don't really get a choice in the matter, because of the way that um, the way that the software interacts with YouTube. Okay, well, I'm looking. Okay, to read the comments in caps we sent. Yes. Okay. Any. Okay. Yeah. Anything you use to edit looks better horizontal. Okay. Yeah, and I agree. Like, all my long form videos are horizontal. The only thing that's vertical is the live streams. And like I said, I got so frustrated in losing my signal that I was like, screw it. I'll just go back to vertical. Because the thing is I hate losing my signal, because I go back and I watch the whole live stream to see how much of what I was saying was jumbled up and stuff like that. It's very irritating for me, because it's like, oh man, that was something really good and it cut it off. Like, I didn't even know for like the last 10 to 15 minutes of a live stream. I think it was the members only live stream. I didn't know for the last 10 or 15 minutes that I was talking. I thought that people were interacting with me, but no. For some reason, it froze on everybody else's end, but it kept me going. But then it cut off all that recording too. So highly likely I may be making operator error. When you use horizontal, allows me to read most recent comments. Yeah, it's the way YouTube does this now. It's part of their app. When you turn it sideways, it puts the comments in a side panel, versus having to go down in the tab and swipe. So yeah, that's one good thing. Okay. Beth, go to chat settings. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Do what you want to do. I'll adjust. Okay. Keep up the good work. Hey, Bucknut, tell me, what did you think of those pictures as from trail, my last days on trail? What did you think of them, since that was what you chose? I'd like to know. Um, happy to help, Beth. Right on. Okay. Um, vertical for live looks fine. Um, yes, but yeah, and 60% of my audience is on mobile. That's the thing. And so a majority of my audience is on mobile. So that was another reason why I'm like, okay, it's him and Han, one or the other. But the thing is, here's the thing. My retention, like when I first started out, my retention was like 30 seconds, 49 seconds, stuff like that. People didn't stay very long. Now my retention is up to 5 minutes on vertical and 15 minutes on horizontal. Okay, so uh, that's a big game changer, because if you're not keeping people longer than like 30 to 60 seconds, then you're not very interesting, and so therefore it's really hard. But also, when you get a lot of views, if you're not having them stack up like I was having it happen when I was on trail, if you're not getting a lot of views like that and people are just trickling in, you never really get that momentum gain. So I don't know, but I've noticed that there's a lot of stuff. Vertical for live looks fine. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I understand. Being a two pump chump is not a good stigma to have. Thanks, Bucknut. Thanks for reminding me. Mm, all right. What's up, kid? All right, but this is just kind of, what's going on. Here goes Buck Nine. Yeah. Oh, by the way, if you have not checked out my memberships over on Patreon, they have changed. I kind of made a screw up. I learned something new. Well, not new. I learned where I screwed up. So I was thinking that the digital downloads went to Sovereign, or went to Digital Watcher, when it was supposed to go to Sovereign, or to Digital Homesteader. And I thought that the early release, like the pre-release on the videos, was supposed to go to Digital Homesteader, and it's actually supposed to go to the Sovereign, or to Rebel Watcher. So if you want, for those of you that are in my YouTube membership that wanted the early release videos, you are going to have to come over to Patreon, and you are going to have to be a Digital Watcher. No, Rebel. It's either Digital Watcher or Rebel Watcher. It's the $5 tier. Okay. And just so that you guys know, please do not purchase using your iPhone. Something that Patreon let me know is that Apple is, with their iOS Pay, is charging an astronomical amount. So for a $5 membership, it's $7.50 if you use your iPhone. Use a web browser, and then you can do it through and then you can just download the app through that way. That's how you do it. But anyways, yeah, so for the for the um for the Sovereign operator, it was $29. Yeah, so Apple was charging an astronomical amount. So I hope, if you are buying through your iPhone, you might want to readjust that. It'll save you about 30%. Tuck, look what Washington said about this being categorized as a short. Maybe change settings. Okay. Um, in this live, because it's considered a short. Oh, did not know. Okay, that's good to know. So I'm learning these things because a lot changes, and it changes so quickly, so rapidly. If you are a free member over on Patreon, which you can go find it down in the description, or Bucknut can post it. But if you're a free member over on Patreon, I put a post up there to kind of give you guys a, a bird's eye view of how the job market is changing by the big things that are happening. That's not making mainstream news or even alternative news. It's still within the tech community, and so it hasn't made its way out. And so I'm kind of giving you guys a peek at that stuff, because this is stuff that's important. Like Microsoft just released, like within the last 3 days, they just released their version of Copilot with their own AI bot, but I think that they are still partnered with ChatGPT. Um, and then you've got all kinds of stuff happening. So, okay, Wagner Group. Oh yes, Wagner Group. Okay. Um, okay, Tech, look what said about, yeah, maybe a change in setting. It's not about a setting, it's about how I set up my life. Okay, welcome. Good info. Okay. What up? Um uh this is just open Q&A. You got questions for me? I'm a digital homesteader. Ask me. I've been doing all kinds of stuff. This just this just for everybody, my regulars and stuff. At least those that want to hang around. But anyways, that's kind of a lot of stuff that's going. I Here's another question. Uh, do you guys like the schedule of me releasing a video every single day? Or if I had something like what I'm working on this weekend, where where I could turn it into 8 videos, one long video and 8 separate videos, to kind of, to be able to bring in what I need to bring in. I'm curious, what do you think, if I were just to drop all 8 videos on the same day? Or do you think I should parse them out, and just use that as part of my daily release? What do you guys think? Open Q&A tonight. Yes. So, yes. Tip jar. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Sam's snoring. So here, let me turn it a little bit so you guys can see. Um, um, ugh. All right. There you guys go. And then you guys can see Bucknut. Yeah. This is honestly, this is so cool. I need to get your affiliate link for this because I wanna do a video on this. This is honestly one of my favorite toys that you've sent me in a very, very long time. So I really like that. Actually, a lot of the stuff you sent me has been pretty good. I think you should do both as shorts and put them together as a long. Maybe spread it out on YouTube, but release it on Patreon. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That way it comes out. And the nice thing about doing it on Patreon is because I get to leave it in unlisted. So if I want to, share it with somebody or something like that, I can, without having them to worry about other stuff. Because there's people that I talk to and I want their opinion on something. And then I'm also, I don't have to release it in any specific order. These are just the videos that are being released over the next few days. And my aim right now is to do 5 videos a week and just keep it up. I think that I can keep up with it. But eventually I do want to go down to 3 videos and then 1 video a week. But um Olay, yes. So yes, if you these honestly, for those of you, what are they, like, $20 Bucknut? They're not, they didn't seem like they're that expensive. The cool thing that I like about the Olight, for those of you that are curious about this Olight strip, so I'll put it back in the background again. For those of you that are curious about this Olight strip, what I like about it is that I can connect to it using Bluetooth, and I don't have to go download a specific app. So anything I buy from Olight, I can add it directly in the app, and therefore I can even tether them together and get them to do all kinds of cool things. So you've got your own little tech board, I guess you could call it. And so this is one of the different settings that I got to use on my in the app, because when you do it just button, it's red, green, blue. But as you see the different colors, it's got green and teal and light blue and stuff like that. It's not anything. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty fantastic. So it's the O strip, and yeah. For those of you that want it, especially if you're doing content creation, if you've noticed, I've started doing some videos with it in the background. I'm actually preferring to do it that way because you guys see I'm in a beat up old trailer. And so I've got to make my background look as good as I possibly can. And by doing it in the dark and getting the light just right, because the way I have it set up, it's big enough. I mean, what is that? Like, it's like, I wouldn't say 20 feet. I'd say it's probably maybe 12 feet long. I'm not exactly sure how long it is. Sam ate the packaging for it. Um, but I would say, you could put it in a room and use it as a way to kind of do a backlighting. So therefore it reflects back in itself. So that's kind of what I do. So as you see here, let me get out of the way. So as you see right here, okay, so on this side over here, or yeah, well, okay. So on the, oh wait, no, I'm showing the wrong side. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm missing. All right. So this side over here is pushing this way, and then that side back there is pushing this way. So therefore, it doubles the brightness because of the way that it's doing this. And the thing is, you're gonna want to use something with a lot higher white, so not a dark blue, but more like a light blue, stuff like that. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. She is definitely a sleepy dog. Holy cow. We'll probably have about an inch of snow by the end of the night. For those of you who want to see, there you go. That's snow. Yeah, and that's another thing is, and I can turn it off and on from my I could turn it off and on from my phone, so I don't have to unplug it anymore like I was before I got it on my phone. I'm kind of, I kind of feel like a dunce now, but I just didn't have time. Should release a backup light and call it the oh shit. That's funny. For your long edited videos, do intro and then lay in your shorts and then outro. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm just kind of finding my own style, because a lot of you could tell somebody to do something, but that's your style, the way that you do it. And there's people do, follow this specific guidelines, but they still put their own style on it. I'm just trying to find my style right now, since I'm doing a big change. But thank you, Warnisher. Much appreciated. Mm. Um, Buck not sell the old shit. Hey, they have a famously named handle in a pickup truck. It's called the oh shit handle. So um yeah, because okay, here's something that you guys are going to know. So we're talking about style. Okay, here's some style changes that I'm making that you guys probably don't know or aren't noticing, just because they're subtle changes. One thing is, um, I say, um, I say, join the digital rebellion and become a digital rebel. I say hi rebels. I say things like that to where I can, or I recognize that. So therefore, I'm creating a community and a style, because when you say you're a rebel, that means that you're not going to follow the norm. That means that you're going to go against the grain. That means you're going to look at things and be enamored by them, but have a realistic view of them. That is what a rebel is. So join my digital rebellion, become a digital rebel. If you join the sovereign operator, or the consulting memberships that I have over on Patreon, after 3 months, you get a free shirt that says Digital Rebel. With so you guys see in the shop down below, and I think I might have found another shop with all the research I was doing today. It told me of another shop that I could use, and I might be changing all my stuff over there real quick. So yes, hey rebels, and uh, there was, if you notice my chat bot, the Friar bot, he's like, get out and homestead the damn future. you know, it's things like that, because what's going to build a following, what's going to build a YouTube or any type of brand, anything in the future, is to have that sense of community. And there are different ways you can put in a community. And building a community could be something as simple as saying, hey, I'm a digital rebel. You have a digital rebel shirt on. You're part of you're part of the bigger group that's kind of influencing out. Okay. And so therefore you have that shirt, you get to wear it with pride. And then you see somebody else that has a digital rebel shirt on, and you're like, cool, and so therefore it's this sense of community. You might go up and say hi to that person just because you're like, oh, they have the same shirt that I do. I can only get it from this person. Okay. So therefore it becomes a sense of tribalism and a sense of identity. Okay. And by building that and getting enough people close, that will be kind of how I build my empire. It's not necessarily about having a million subscribers. A million subscribers isn't going to do anything if they're not watching my videos. But I can have 1,000 loyal subscribers that pay attention to, that watch all my videos, subscribe to my stuff, and buy some of my products. Which pretty much every one of you that are in this room are that type of people. Therefore, you are given the opportunity to, you get to be closer to me versus being on the outside. Beth, you're new to Patreon. You've got to see the night and day difference. What do you think about all this as far as what you're getting over on Patreon? Because Bucknut's been with me over on Patreon since it was just basically a monthly recurring donation at one point in time. I tried to do stuff, and then I tried doing hobo tutorials, and that didn't work out. Well, it worked out, but then as I brought in public, then all of a sudden my channel took off. There was a lot of different things, but uh, I don't know. I'm trying to build community. If I ever see someone with tickets merch on, you should know I'm gonna probably stand there and talk shit about you, Tuck. Oh, I'm sure you will, Bucknut. I'm sure you will. But you know what? You've been around long enough. You've kind of earned that right in some ways. So, but Yeah, anyways, well, that's what you're supposed to do with your friends. You never talk nicely about your friends. You're supposed to talk shit about them. Man, look at this guy. He sucks. Mm. And I never said I was a saint. I never said I was great at what I did. I just said I'm willing to outlast I'm willing to outlast everybody else. Perseverance is what gives you success sometimes. Sometimes you just got to keep beating your head against that wall. Eventually, you'll knock a few brain cells loose and get it right. And I just keep putting my I just keep putting my shit like that. So disappointed in you otherwise, Jeremy. Tuck's not Tuck's not tickets. I hate autocorrect. Oh yeah, dude, try the whole voice thing. Oh man, it says some weird shit every once in a while when you do the voice to text because that's what I like to do. I never. It's like man, and I sit and I don't even read it. I say it because I'm articulating it. I hit send, and then I end up go back and read it, and it's like, oh god, this person probably thinks I'm a fucking nut job. I'll tell the story where you mistakenly thought the dangleberries were racist. Oh God. Oh, oh, I hope to hear that story. I want to know that one. Um, Merced says, when no one else will, I will. Tell me about those items. Those are no longer available, I think. The only thing that should be available is my facts, not feelings, my original Epoch logo, and the Digital Rebellion shirt. Those are the only three things that I've got on there because they can't. They look. I still have. It's been almost 2 months now. Well, about a month and a half, and I still haven't received my product. Uh, I would that's why I was looking for it. And part of what I was doing in my research today, like I said, I stumbled across somebody else that I could probably use that isn't gonna like be out of orders and stuff like that. And I might do a search around and see if I can find more stuff because I want to be able to have like some outdoor gear and stuff. Um, like things like that. What's up, Shark Zoo? Are you from Appalachia? Nope, but I've been on the AT only like 150 miles of it, but I've been on it. I'll tell. Okay, you're immersed. Okay. They screwing you over. Well, dude, you realize for a $20 shirt, I'm paying $15 for it. So you're gonna pay $25 with because it's $5 for shipping and handling. So they get $20, I get $5. Um, and on one hand, it's like, dude, they offer a service there. It should be a lot more fair. And then the one payout, because I've sold one shirt there, I still haven't received the payout. I gotta go through my email. I've been focusing on making sure to keep up on everything that I'm doing. That I've kind of put that off to the side because I'll worry about it when it's important. Um, I have ordered from Temu. Temu is not bad. Um, but you know what? You better watch out because they like to bait and switch you. Oh yeah, you got like $30 worth of items, but you got to spend like $10 or $20 or something like that. And next thing you know, this is how they nickel and dime you all day long. Next thing you know, you've got everything. Yeah, the Chinese are really smart. I gotta tell you that the Chinese are really good at getting you up. Oh, I give you this for free. I give you this for free. I give you this for free. Okay, now I sell you this item $500, but you can't have any of that free stuff unless you buy this item. Yeah, yeah. No, but you know what? That's where I learned the art of barter, or not bartering, but haggling, was in Chinatown in San Francisco. You go up, and there'd be a bag up on the wall, and I didn't even want the bag. I'm just like I wanted to haggle with somebody, and so I said that bag, how much? She says $10. I'm like okay, I'll give you $5 for it. She goes no, 8. I said no, I'll give you $5. She says no 7. I said, no, $5. I turn around and make it a step and a half. And she goes, okay, $5. Because the thing is they mark things up. What you're doing is you're playing a game of chicken. And it is so fun. Bucknut, if you have like an authentic Chinatown around you, which I don't think you do, you would have to either go to San Francisco or New York to get an authentic Chinatown. But man, you would have so much fun. Have you looked into Printify for direct-to-consumer printing? You order on Amazon and the item printed that time and sent out through Amazon. I've ordered shirts through there. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I knew that there was going to be other options. I think Printify is the one that was suggested. I can't get into my notes because it's in my phone. So otherwise, I would pull it up. Um, yeah. Oh, dude, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Is Chicago's Chinatown authentic enough? I don't know. Never been to Chicago Chinatown. If they speak Chinese and you can go buy dim sum and it's real dim sum, then yeah, you're probably in a real Chinatown because, well, now everybody sells dim sum, but back in the day, dim sum wasn't something that really was anywhere but in Chinatown. So, um, okay, thank you, appreciate it. Is Chicago's China? Yeah, but no, I mean that's just kind of where it's at. So, anyways, guys, I want to for those of you that are here, we have a Panda Express. Does that count? No, 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 that's American Chinese. Um, sounds like a homeless guy I met earlier. He said, "Hey, bud, spare some change." I said, "Nope." How about a quarter? Nope. Dime? Nope. Nickel? Nope. Dang. God bless. Um. Wow. He was that persistent. He must have been desperate. Either that or that's how he makes his money. That's how he makes a lot of money because you hassle somebody. I remember the day we found out my ex-wife was pregnant with my son. We went to Denny's to celebrate because that was her favorite place to eat. Yeah, she loved greasy food and and poorly made food. She, yeah, that's why I liked her so much. But uh, um, so we're standing outside, we're smoking a cigarette, and this homeless guy comes up and says, "You got a quarter?" And she looks at me. I said, "Yeah, go ahead, give him a quarter." I said, "Yeah, we got a quarter." He hears the change jingle around in her pocket, and he says, "Give me a dollar." I said, "No, you asked for a quarter. I'm giving you a quarter. I'm not giving you a dollar." He raised his fist like he was going to punch her. If I could have ran fast enough, that guy, I would probably, I'd probably still be in prison. You just, yeah, that would, yeah, that was something else. Let me turn this off because I don't want to waste all my propane. um Blasphemy war, it's not real Chinese, but it doesn't suck. um yeah, I don't know. I love Panda Express, man. I think Panda Express is great, but that's still American Chinese food. It's yeah. uh, just like most of your Chinese restaurants are ran by Vietnamese. I still find that funny. That's just the craziest thing. Um, although I gotta tell you, I got to know a Chinaman who owned a Chinese restaurant. Chinese food is so cheap. If you can learn to cook like them, you could cook a meal for like a whole family for less than what you spend on one plate at Denny's. So it's not real Chinese, but it does. Yeah, okay. Our Chinese restaurants are run by Mexicans. Yeah. Anybody ever hear that George Carlin joke? I think it was George Carlin who talked about it. He was like, there's a reason why blacks don't work in KFC and Mexicans don't work in Taco Bell. So, big old walk required. You know what though? Um, Mr. Tom used to whip stuff up, and he used lard. He didn't use oils and stuff like that. He used lard, and the cleaning chemicals he had were, oh my god, that he gave me a can of his oven cleaner once, and I used it in a house, and I cleaned it out, and I cleaned it out well. You when you're cleaning the inside of an oven, I was like, man, this stuff just comes right off. I mean, it's just like it peeled it right. I mean, 15 minutes, start wiping, and it was like you didn't have to scrub, you didn't have to take a scraper, you didn't have to do anything like that, right? So I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me make sure to rinse this off just to get some extra residue out. So I got the extra residue out. About 3 days later, I get a call from the customer telling me that I'm never allowed to come back because they'd set me up as a recurring, because their oven smoked for hours because of the the oven cleaner I used. I did the best I could. I didn't realize how potent that crap was, but yeah, I mean I've made some mistakes, but the worst mistake I ever made was burning a $10,000 floor, and luckily I had insurance to cover that. Um, Ooh, Nice. Okay, what about the invisible homeless that work during the day and sleep wherever they can at night? Yeah. There's a lot of them here. That used to be me. I've been homeless for the last couple of years. I just got off the streets and bought me a piece of land because of YouTube. If it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't be able to afford this land. That's why I work as hard and put so much effort into it and all the stuff that I do. Because without YouTube, I wouldn't own this land. I could have owned this land other ways, but without YouTube, I wouldn't own this land. And so that's just I've become a digital homesteader and I've started pivoting my channel. But if you want to know stuff like that, I've got like 1,000 videos over the last almost 3 years of talking about homeless and different views from the homeless and kind of the real problems that are out there. I urge you to go back and watch some of my older videos. Um, Occult and Kung Fu watched all of my videos. They binge watched them. They're the best ones to ask you if they want to tell you uh, what the best playlist to start with. But all my recent videos are in preparing for homelessness. Yes, my video library. Mm. But I'm I'm glad that it took me a long time. It took me a long time to learn stuff, and some of the stuff that I'm learning, and it's not necessarily that I'm learning it. It's just I've stopped being stubborn about it and trying to do it my own way, and I finally started to submit. And now that I'm submitting, it's starting to work out in a good way. Um, um, oh, well, all homeless. You realize maybe 10 to 20% of your overall homeless population is what you see out on the streets. Okay. That's the reality of the situation. Most of them are hiding, looking for jobs, couch surfing, van lifing it, living in their car, trying to stay out of the purview, trying to blend in. A majority of your homeless, unless you know what you're looking for, the average person would just think that you're probably a broke college kid before they think that you're homeless. And a lot of it has to do with how you present yourself. But the thing is that politicians, what they do in order to be able to garner votes is they use us as their personal whipping boy. So the Democrats say, oh, it's not their fault. Da, 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 it's all this problems. We need to just give them housing first and this and that and the other. That's not the solution. That won't solve it. Housing first doesn't solve shit. Housing first gives all the lowest common denominator a place. Well, those that could actually be productive will never get anything because you got to have money. And well, unless you're on the government dole, you don't have money. So that doesn't work. And then you've got the conservatives that just say, oh, you're a lazy bum who's a drug addict and you'll never be nothing. You don't want to work. You're just freaking lazy. That's not true. People are out there because of work injuries. They're out there. I mean, that's what made me homeless the first time was a work injury. It wasn't because I had a drug problem. Most people don't end up on the streets because of a drug problem. They develop the drug problem later on. But again, that's just me on my own tirade, trying to blend. Yes, I just started from the first video and kept going. I enjoy your content because I feel like I kind of gotten to know you over the videos. Yeah, you probably have a deeper understanding of me than most people because I was raw and real the whole time. Even when I read my scripts, it's still raw and real. It's just every YouTuber that does anything productive on YouTube reads a script. What's up, Chris? Nice to see you, buddy. Um, it has that's their thing. Is uh, uh is that yeah. Anyways, yeah, I kind of lost where I was. Homeless, some people jump to are astounding. Yes. Well, yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, you're gonna get a better understanding of who I am. But every YouTuber that's successful on YouTube reads a script. If you want to know if somebody's reading a script, watch their eyes. Don't look at where they're looking at because the way that this camera works is when I have it tilted this way, even when like I'm looking directly at the camera, but it makes it look like I'm looking away because I've got my eyes to the right, which is where the camera is. And so don't necessarily pay attention to where the head is facing, pay attention to the eyes. If you notice, I put my script in a way to where you don't see my eyes go back and forth like this because it's big enough and it's narrow enough to where I can read it and just kind of keep going down without having to go left or right. One. Um, and two, I make sure to try and make it look like I'm looking directly at you because it's normally the way that I've always done it. It just that's the way it is. But by having a scripted outcome, what does it allow me to do? It is allowing me the opportunity to get a message out clearly and in a structured manner that is easily digestible for the masses. Because what is the point in putting something out if it's all about you and not about the end user, the viewer at the end of the day? And that's why I did like the hobo tutorials and all that other stuff, was because I wanted to teach people how to do this step by step and just kind of give them little things along the way. And it just, I don't know, I just I've had to like concede a lot of stuff to YouTube. And for those of you that see and like, oh well, you're not getting the views that you're used to, you're not getting the stuff that you used to. Well, yeah, I'm in the middle of a pivot, and normally it takes 9 to 12 months to pivot. I'm doing it in less than 90 days. And that's with the help of AI, of course. So they didn't become homeless due to mental illness and drug addiction. Homelessness causes. No, here's the reason why most people turn into addiction is because they realize that unless you're willing to be a repeat customer, or you've just had so much crap happen to you, or your buddy sister says, hey, try this, and you don't know what you're smoking, you're just having a bad day and you're sitting with the boys. I mean, there's a lot of ways in which it gets started, but a lot of what you see out there is just people's frustration, because most people come out and for the first couple of months they're going to really push to the grind and try and find a job because they want to have what they lost. That is the moment in time, the first 90 days that somebody loses everything. That is when they have the most motivation to be able to get anything done. That's why homeless prevention is so important. That's why me talking about the subjects that I talk about are so important. For example, talking about preparing for homelessness, using the online economy, using the digital economy, finding apps. If you're out of work right now, and depending upon what region you're in, there's a different gig app for you. You can get day work, day labor right then and there. You just have to go through their orientation or whatever. Past that, boom, you can now start freelancing yourself while you're looking for work, building a digital income, doing anything. I used an app called ShiftSmart, and while I was staying with my parents for that year, I was using that to support myself. I'd work 3, 4, 5 days a week so that I could afford the things that I needed to afford, on top of make sure that I was being productive and trying to build something. And so, this is, if homelessness is more than just an economics issue, but if you are willing to sit back and do some self-evaluation, and kind of, this is why I talk about the mental wealth over on Your Personality HQ, is because if you can stem homelessness without having to deal with the trauma of homelessness, then what ends up happening is your brain and your brain chemistry, the way that you think, the way that you interact, and how quick to temper you are, is going to completely change. Okay. And so therefore you can fix the economics issue. But if they're still being abrasive in their daily life, that is destroying relationships because of personality traits that they're unaware of, that are abrasive just because they think it's normal or it's okay, sometimes this changes. So okay, so anyways, let me get to this. But that's just my overall opinion. Is just, if you want to, with homelessness, if you're going to solve it, you need to focus on homeless prevention and getting people the first 90 days that they're on the streets, because those are going to be the people that are the most willing to fix their situation. The longer you're out there, the more fed up you get, because you realize how the system is rigged against you. They're there to make money off of you. They're not there to help you. And so, with that being said, that's just one thing. So, anyways, what's up, Chris? Nice to see you, buddy. I'm saying disastrous. Okay, Chris, been watching the Hell on Wheels, not particularly liking it, neither, from the South. Okay. Check out the movie Stone Pillow with the was it All People, Lucille Ball? Oh, okay. Um, Bucknut. Okay. Best part about dating a homeless chick is you can drop her off anywhere after the date. Pretty much. You just come out of the back alley and you both go your separate ways. So, uh, okay. The regular folks that end up on the drugs. Yes, it's regular folks. I, dude, when I was in Gainesville the first time, I was propositioned to do Molly several times, and they even tried to convince me, sell me on the process of, oh, Molly's great. You should. It's an amazing drug. Da, 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 da. No, no, I don't want to do it. And so I finally had to give them. They wouldn't take no for an answer. So I finally said, look, man, look at what I got and what I have. If I do that, I'm going to lose everything that I have, and I don't want to lose it. One moment of fun is not worth a lifetime of agony. And that's really, if you're going to do the white dope, that's the way you need to look at it. 1 minute of fun for a lifetime of agony. Ask anyone who's done it and done it long term, they will tell you the same thing. And I haven't. That's what's kept me from it. A businesswoman in her own right, a trailblazer, a hilarious physical comedian, a big fan here. Well, thanks, Beth, much appreciated. And okay. Okay. Just regular old people that probably put up a good fight and ended up on the short end of the stick. Well, here's the thing about capitalism. This is the ugly side of it. This is the part that nobody wants to go, oh, look at all these people who have been taken out of poverty. Compared to 200 years ago, yeah, we're rich. But look at the environment that we're in. You could compare it to, horses and buggies now that we've got cars, or you could have a realistic look and say, what is the overall misery index? What is the overall quality of life? And um, the way that scarcity works is that if you don't have homelessness, you can't say that, well, houses, they're an ideal investment, they always go up. You got to be able to afford one. And so therefore, because of the homeless, it therefore gives you prestige because they are implementing scarcity. And then the marketing is like, you're miserable unless you have this, you haven't made it unless you do this. It's selling you things that you don't want, you don't need, and you probably can't even afford, so that they can make a quick buck. And so they play on scarcity. There's scarcity of resources, scarcity of food, scarcity of this, scarcity of that, because they choose to only make this many, not because they can't make more, but because they want to drive up the price with scarcity and rarity. And the thing is, um, uh, uh, it's just, this is why homelessness is just a creation of the society. Without the homeless, you can't drive up prices. You can't say that, yeah, well, you better be able to afford rent because some people can't. You know, that's really where it goes. Tuck tells folks more about the personality channel you have. Okay, so Beth, my personality HQ, like I said, I have done probably, I don't know, right around the age of 30. I've been homeless so many times I got tired of it. So what I did is I chose to, as I started looking at myself, if I was constantly homeless, I was constantly blaming everybody else, and I didn't look within. And then I finally started taking accountability, and then I started looking at at the things that I was doing to people, because I had those things being done to me. That's why I live by the motto: "What you do to others, others will do to you," and it just keeps going. And I learned how my personality traits, the bad habits I was brought up with, including some of the negative things, and they still affect me to this day. I try, and it's a lifetime, journey. It's not something that you can just fix and therefore it's good, you got an end time. No, this is something because my parents really weren't the best parents. Most people that end up homeless, from what I understand, were had to deal with a lot of abuse as children, and which means they came from negative households, which means therefore they learned negative traits for their own self-defense, which then in turn, creates a more abrasive society. So in a lot of ways, their parents set them up for it because they weren't good parents to begin with. And that's really where it pulls out to. So if you want to understand life from that point of view, and from my epiphany, I would invite you to come over to my personality HQ. Like Tom Petty came out of Gainesville. Yes, he did. That is our one claim to fame. You consider Molly to be white dope? Yes. We're not talking about the pills. Basically, it's a mixture of fentanyl, bottom bag tweak and some heroin is what it is. It basically a dealer, from what I was told, it was created when a dealer was at the end of all of his baggies and he wanted to just combine it all to make something so that he could sell his last little bit because he wanted another dollar. And so that's how Molly was invented. And so it, because of the heroin and the fentanyl part of it, that's part of what makes it really addicting and why so many people do it. And then, usually what people end up doing, like my buddy Puckett, is then they will graduate from Molly to just straight up fentanyl. And I've heard stories of what people are like on that. I've even seen a couple, where they're falling asleep like this, but I've heard like from other people where it's like what they're telling me is the way it looks is like you're separating their soul from their body for a split period of time, and just the psychosis that happens from it's just crazy. But yeah, this is what's going on in the drug world. Um, sorry, I bring cut. No, you don't. Um, so not actual MDMA. No, 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 no. If it was that, I would call you a pill popper. Because you're more likely, if you're gonna do that, you're probably gonna do Vicodin, Percocet, Trazodone, all the different ones, Xannies, and all that other stuff. Uh, yeah, I know, but that's what they started calling it, and then the call name, if somebody says MWOP or MOP, that's what they're talking about. So, because you'll go by, especially if like me looking the way I do, I walk down the street and you'll hear a chronic fire. Okay, that guy's got weed. Mop. Okay, that guy. Candy. Okay, that guy's got crack. Um, you know, you want to ride the lightning? Okay, that guy's got heroin. That's kind of when you're walking down the street. That's basically how you get solicited. You just wait till you hear the call sign that you want. Oh, fire! Ooh, that's my guy. How much? That's kind of the way it works. I don't know how true it is, but I've heard having sexual relationships online will ruin it for you when you are. I don't know. Never done it. Never asked anybody that. Wasn't really interested in it. Because here's the thing. This is what happens to the women, and they get even these young. Oh, it still breaks my heart. 14-year-old girl, but I can't do anything about it. I mean, I'm not going up against a gang one man. I'm not that good. I mean, I can do some damage, but I ain't that good. But this is how they get the girls doing the tricks is they get them on something, and if they get, especially if they deal with emotional issues, they have daddy issues and stuff like that. That's what the pimps are looking for. And so what he does is like, here you go, here you go. Okay, well, I'm not just going to give it to you for free. Start with, and then he starts using her, and then from that point, then he starts saying, well, you know what, you want some, you got to go out and do some tricks, and then then basically the veterans and the Social Security guys are paying the prostitutes um, so that they can go and buy their dope, and then she just kind of gets passed around the community, and it doesn't matter depending like the white Molly guys or Molly circle is its own circle. They don't intermingle like with the tweaker circle or the heroin circle or the stoner circle or the drunk circle. It's all that. Um, well, it's just the reality of the situation. It really is. It's just the reality of the situation. That's really what it boils down to. When the thing is that the gangs are the authority. They are the overlords. There are two countries. One is the gangs and their gang rule, and then the other is the law society. Okay, now the law society is going to come in and disrupt the gangs and stuff like that, but it doesn't really change anything because unless they take out all the gangs at once and all their little foot soldiers at once, there's always going to be somebody that rises to power to take authority. There's going to be a vacuum. And so the thing is you have to learn how to navigate both of those worlds. You're worried about the cops because you don't want to, like if you're getting buzzed or whatever, you don't want the cops to take you away because that's a buzzkill. But if you're dealing with the gangs, it may end up being a fatal situation, especially if you get in. Most of the time when people deal with the biggest issues is because they are indebted to somebody. They either did that or they crossed a line that they weren't supposed to. And in that world, it's all about primal, like a primal living. You are living in a lot of ways, especially the worse the city is. Like Cincinnati was probably one of the worst next to Atlanta. As far as like how grungy the homeless population was, and it's just, yeah, it's something else. And I don't even know what else to say. Okay, Shane Bates. It was set up like that on purpose. Not necessarily. I don't know if it was set up like that on purpose, but I know that that's the way it runs. Um, well, yeah, of course. Well, I mean, how did gangs even start? Gangs started on the streets in the at the beginning of the industrial era. You had street urchins, people that were tossed out by their parents or had nobody to support them or whatever. They banded together, they formed gangs, they became adults, and they started taking it into a bigger area. Then the idea of gangs started. Gangs are an invention and a calamity or cause and effect, an unintended consequence of the Industrial Revolution. Because in order to be able to get enough money to be able to sell your goods, you've got to be able to create value to a point where you're creating scarcity. So somebody's got to go without so that you can charge somebody that actually has the money something for it. That's why I've always tried to be pretty good and stuff like that. Okay. I know a guy high up in the army. It was put on speed to keep going. They still have him on speed somehow legally. Well, yeah, that was part of what Hitler did with the Blitzkrieg. That's where methamphetamine came from. Methamphetamine is a creation of Hitler and the Nazi Party. So that's that's why that's why you would see a lot of skinheads back in the early days when tweak was a big thing. Um, the Molly and fentanyl are the big things now. Like when I first came out on the streets, it was meth, crack, and heroin. That was what you had to worry about. Uh, you could go to jail for 6 months to a year if you get caught with weed, stuff like that. Welcome to the constant concrete zoo. Yep. Zoot suitors. Okay, welcome to the jungle. Definitely a game, but in a legal way. Yeah, well, this is